Hi again, everybody. This video is sponsored by contribution from Jamie, and here's her story. Hi, Ollie. I hope I can express my story to you. It's so convoluted, but here it goes. I'm not hiding names or anything. I will be using real names and places. My name is Jamie. I am 53 years old and a nurse. My ex-narc was a friend of mine for 20 years. We worked together at Boca Raton Police Department. Uh-oh. I was a civilian and he was a bicycle cop. We began a friendship, but I liked him and wanted much more. Come to find out, he had a girlfriend, but we were young and stupid, and yes, I did sleep with him. We continued just a friendship throughout the years. Even when I got married, he continued to date that woman. And even when I got married, and he continued to date that woman. We kept in contact with happy birthday greetings and small talk, but nothing more. I moved away to Arizona to get married, but talk occasionally on the phone. He would joke, saying he always thought I would have married him. Now looking back, I can see his narcissism then, but I did not realize it until now. Fast forward till 2011, I was in the process of getting a divorce. Yes, a narc, living back in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Uh-oh. And my ex-husband was ruthless and heartless. Coy was broken up with his girlfriend of 13 years. He claimed it was mutual, but just some background about him. He's my age, 52, never married and never lived with someone. That girlfriend he dated lived an hour away. So to continue, back then I was an emotional wreck. I was trying to finish nursing school and getting ready to move to the west coast of Florida. Not only to get away from my ex-husband, but to get better emotionally and work on myself. I had I had to empty a storage unit that my ex-husband and I both shared. I had to do it alone. He would not help me separate our belongings. I was a basket case. So my ex-narc, Coy is his name, would call me every morning when I would go to the storage unit to box up and separate the crap. He was really just showing what a true friend he was, coaching me and making sure I did not jump off the ledge. Little did I know this was his way to groom me in the future. Now, once I moved to Clearwater, I was receiving therapy and on medication. I lost 65 pounds and realized that my life was so much better without my ex-husband. But I was afraid to date. All I ever dated was married and narcs. So I started dating an old boyfriend from New York, a cerebral narc, strange and controlling. I was involved with him on and off for a year. I would call Coy for advice. He was excellent on giving advice. I finally broke it off with the New York guy in July 2014. It is right around the times Coy and I have our birthdays. So I texted Coy, happy birthday, hope all is well, crappy saying. Of course, he didn't answer me right away. He texted he texted in August 2014 to wish me a happy birthday and pull me in as his narcissistic supply. I had no idea the next 2 years would be a living hell. He is now captain in the police department, getting ready to retire at the end of this month. He called me on September 8th, 2014, and that was the beginning of a nightmare I could never imagine. It started out so right. He was ready to be in a loving, committed relationship. Tired of being in and out of relationships, wanting to settle down. So the love bombing was quick and fast. He said everything my ex-husband didn't say, and I started remembering the feelings I had for him 20 years prior. And I'm already going to stop here, because this is very telling, being that he's a cop and he never married the first girlfriend of 13 years and never married before. He's worried about his pension. He didn't want any woman getting half of his pension. So that's why he's looking to settle down again as soon as he's retiring, okay? Because he's already cleared that, and you wouldn't be entitled to dime one of it. I had fantasy thinking. Maybe this was my soulmate all the time. He would send me morning texts, emails praising my body, and calling me late at night when I was driving home from work, even though he had to get up early in the morning. I was in la la land. But after 3 weeks, he started to say and act very strangely. I didn't know what I was doing wrong. He would insist that I send him naked pics of me. He would send me pics of him. This made me extremely uncomfortable. I wasn't feeling love or passion from him, more of a disturbing feeling. He started saying things that really to this day is mind-boggling to me because I didn't get to see him every day. We live 5 hours away. He would start fights with me on the phone saying that he knows what it is to be a nurse because he dated 2 nurses before. What? That we can't forever text or email to keep the relationship going. What? That he was not looking for a girlfriend, just a travel companion who would travel with him when he retires, but must be monogamous and faithful. What? He would not give me the title of girlfriend, but tell his family and friends I was his girlfriend. What the fuck? He had rules. We could not sit next to one another in a restaurant. It had to be across the table. No public displays of affection, not even a photo. He would say, no man wants that. Really? So I would send him text pics of couples holding hands in public, and he would get so mad. The relationship continued on and off, but mostly he would give me the silent treatments for long periods of time. He only came here once to Clearwater. His anxiety and craziness stopped him. He would make excuses, claiming he had no money to come see me. Ollie, this man makes over 6 figures a year. Yeah, no shit he does. A captain on the Boca Raton, Florida Police Department. He's making well into the 6 figures. He ain't just breaking 6 figures. He's making well into 6 figures. So I would go back home to Fort Lauderdale to visit family, but always ended up at his house. He had a sexual dysfunction. He refused to ejaculate. He kept blaming his age, but I believed he just couldn't give up control, that somehow he would be too vulnerable to a woman. There would be no discussing it or anything. There would be fits of rage from him, once breaking a cordless phone in half. We could not even discuss our relationship unless I wanted him to rage. And of course, I brought him another phone. He would apologize, saying he was an asshole, sending me flowers, but he would always do it again on another visit to him. He introduced his family. He introduced to his family. I never met them 20 years ago, but I could see why he is the way he is. I'm not sure who is the narcissist, the mother or the father, but I must say they were all friendly to me. It looked like the mother was hoping I would stay around to be with her baby boy. Can none of his friends and family see that he's the common denominator in the equation? This man kept me going for 2 years, saying maybe. I'm not sure. Let's keep going. I miss you. Blah, blah, blah. Our final meeting, I finally told him he was a narcissist. On some level, I believe he knows that. But it is told that is the worst thing you can tell a narcissist. He said he loved me only once when I said my final goodbye to him. He hugged me so tight I thought I was going to crush my ribs. I never felt love or any affection from this man. There was no empathy. He is truly a lost soul. I finally had to lie and tell him I was dating someone else. It was the only way to either make him realize he was losing me or push him away forever. Of course, it was the latter. I was in no contact for almost 7 weeks until that damn hurricane broke it for me. I know it was me who decided to find out if he was okay, but all I could say is I still love him. I don't know why. Maybe it was just all the years we were friends, or just the idea of what I wanted him to be. I'm back in therapy with a special therapist that deals with narcissistic relationships. I find myself still crying over this man. He never really was a true boyfriend to me. I'll be moving back to Fort Lauderdale in 2 years. I just want to make sure I'm completely over this fall, because even though it's a big city, I can see myself going back to the craziness I had with him. I would appreciate any feedback you give, Ollie. Thank you and God bless, Jamie. Well, I hope let's see if I can Fort Lauderdale. Few things. Number one, I've talked about this before, police department's profile for narcissists to hire. Ego trips, easy to control with a little bit of power and a little bit of adulation. He's obviously been babied by his mother. He has an entitlement type of mentality. He's obviously not the marrying type, so he's strung along the first one for 13 years, the first one you knew about for 13 years, dated other nurses. This guy was never going, is not the marrying type, and he never was going to be. Okay, I think a big part of him is protecting his pension, because that's very valuable, especially retiring. I can only imagine what a retired police captain out of Boca Raton, Florida, pension must look like. It has to be outrageous. Because he probably gets about 70-80% of his salary, his last year's salary, for the rest of his life, which is why they always rack up so much overtime their last year, cops. So it's 70% of all their overtime and everything they made. I will say this. The inability to ejaculate, and he's blaming that on his age, I don't buy that. I don't buy that. Okay, if he has these anxiety issues and these other issues, more than likely he's on some kind of medication. And those anti-anxiety medications, okay, a lot of them antidepressants, Zoloft for one, even if he's taking Adderall, whether it's legally prescribed or not, because cops tend to do these pill freaks, not saying he is, but those, as being a nurse, you should know those are all inability to ejaculate, are all side effects of either antidepressants or Adderall, a speed type of drug. What you said, you answered your own question here of why for so long. And you're not in love with him. You're in love with what you wanted him to be. You're in love with, it's real easy over the phone or over the internet, to love bomb or to project yourself as this perfect person. And he can only do it for so long. But you had a fantasized idea, image of who this guy is. And that's not who he is. He's a giant child with entitlement issues. Okay, he's just looking. He sees women as a convenience, and he's not going to let them in, and he's a user. And that's what happened to you. And it's something that's prevalent among cops, especially cops his age. I mean, they're profiled for that sort of personality. Okay, the other thing I question, but you would know better, because the way he's acting with the no public displays of affection, you have to sit across from me, not next to me. Seems like he's hiding the relationship. Almost like he might actually be married to someone else. And had the other girlfriend was just that, a girlfriend. And he has some kind of family that you don't know about, which is very possible, because I've heard of many cops doing that as well. I'm not saying that's what it is, but you would know the signs better than I would. So if that is in the realm of possibility, think about it logically. Have you ever done a Google check on him? Have you ever ran his name? Have you ever tried to find out what his deal is, what his public records are? If he's married, if he's been divorced, all that stuff is out there on Google. Have you ever checked? Or are you too afraid to? Those are questions you have to ask yourself. But you answered your own question here. You're in love, not with him. but what you wanted the narcissist, what you not wanted your narcissist to be. And that was never his true self. So thank you so much, Jamie, for your contribution, and thank you for your story. I really appreciate it. I hope this helps. Thank you to everybody watching. Please leave any opinions or advice in the comment section below. And again, if you want your story read on the channel, you have a narcissist you'd like to expose, or a topic you'd like me to cover, you know what to do with the PayPal and my email links in the description box. I'll have the video right back to you. This is Ollie Matthews. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all again soon.